welcome to the RPM demonstration video on setting up RPM contracts. In this particular video, we're going to create a rental contract, and it's going to be for the 420E backhoe examples that we used when you looked at our subcategory and unit videos. So right from the main screen, let's hit the plus RPM contract button. That will generate a brand new contract for us, and I'm going to search for a customer by the name of Anderson Energy. So here, when I type in A&D, the system will automatically filter and show you those with A&D in the name, such as Anderson Energy, Brothers Landscaping, or in the case of Bronco Energy, we've got Miranda Wilson with A&D in her name. So we will go ahead and choose Anderson Energy as our customer, and you'll notice at the top of the screen, the first thing that pops up is it tells me that this customer has an overdue balance and the customer's credit limit has been exceeded. When I click on details, I can actually see the details of those, specifically here what the balance is, and I could even drill down further if I need to get to the customer ledger entries so that I can either show the document here on screen and reprint it or email it to the customer. So let me back out of here. I'm going to let this credit warning go through, and you'll notice that the system defaulted in the customer's information onto the contract, including a default billing code of 28 days in advance. So with our billing code functionality, you have multiple options to bill a customer, and in this particular case, this customer defaulted to 28 days in advance because whenever we rent it to them, that's the agreement we have with them, so that's why we were able to default it. Now I'm going to capture here the customer's purchase order information. I'm going to capture a salesperson code. I have order writer, ordered by, PO date, and customer reference. These are 4 fields that I was able to set up in a setup table, just like you as a customer would, where you can name those fields whatever you'd like. There's actually 6 that can be named and printed, and 6 that can just be internal reference fields for you. Now, if this was related to an opportunity in the CRM portion of the system, you do have the option of assigning that to it. Now here, we've got a document status. The current status is new. We do have the ability, though, to change that status to anything that you would like. Okay, so you can set up as many different statuses as you wish. And here we show that this customer has a Sell-To insurance certificate on file. So we capture insurance certificates in the solution, attach them to the customer. Here we show the expiration date of it, and we automatically copy that insurance certificate from the customer record to this contract through our attachments capability. So I can always have quick access to being able to view that customer's certificate of insurance directly from within the system. Okay, let's move down to past our line section for a minute, and let's look at some of the other tabs. In the Contacts tab, we have the ability to define the different people that are part of this contract. So here I've got a sell to, bill to, and a ship to that automatically defaulted to Joe Anderson. If I click in the bill to, maybe it is somebody different. So when I click that, it'll bring my contacts up, which is part of our CRM, and I'm going to choose that it's Mary Jones that might be the bill to contact instead. And I will go ahead and answer yes to changing that contact. And if I'd like, I can also add a bunch of additional contacts. Now you'll notice that I don't need to have a contact record in order to add a contact. So let's just say that Tom Smith was the foreman on the job, and I wanted to capture that information. So it's just a way to identify the people that you need to speak with various transactions. If I move down to the Contract Invoice Details tab, this comes from our master customer record. We've got our payment terms code of net 30. It's tax liable. They're taxable in a Texas area code. And we're also processing this out of our Houston branch, and this is our rental department. On the Shipping and Billing tab, you'll notice here we can get a ship-to code from this customer. So even though that customer is based out of Houston, they might have other offices. So you can store unlimited ship-to addresses. So maybe if I change it to Deer Park, now you'll notice it's got a different address here for where I'm going to ship to. In addition to those types of ship-to codes assigned to the customer, we also have what are called global addresses. These are addresses that are not unique to a specific customer, but global to all, such as maybe working at the AT&T Stadium. There might be a project going on there, or you needed to ship to an oil field or to an international airport. Wherever that job site is, you can set that global address up. So we'll go ahead and leave this as the main customer's address. You also have the ability to put in any type of shipment method, how you're going to deliver the equipment to them. Maybe we're going to do it via our company truck, or if you were using an agent like UPS or FedEx or something for your equipment, you could certainly put that in there. So let's move back up to the lines now, and let's go ahead and add that backhoe that we used in our example of the subcategory. Now, if you recall, when I was talking about the subcategories, there is what are called related charges. So as soon as I pick that backhoe, the related charges pop up for me, allowing me to select the charges that I want to include with the rental of this backhoe. Since the customer had a certificate of insurance on file, maybe I don't want to charge them damage waiver. Okay, I might offer them a utility trailer, but since we're going to be delivering it to them, I'm going to uncheck that one as well. And let's just assume here that we're going to charge them the delivery fee, and then we're going to also sell them a hard hat. This is an inventory item that can be sold right from your inventory stock. So when I say OK to that, you'll notice that it automatically inserted all the lines for me onto the contract. If I scroll across to the right, you'll see that the top line, the backhoe, is going to be billing 28 days in advance, but the delivery charge and the item are just simply sales. We're going to just charge them one time for those. If I scroll farther to the right, you can see the prices that we're charging, and this is $2,100 per 28 days. And then lastly, over here very far to the right, you can see when the next billing date is for all of these, January 27th. Now, you also have that insight over here in this fact box for the next dates. It shows you that the shipment is due today and that we have an invoice that can be billed today as soon as we ship that. We are going to cover shipping and invoicing in a separate video, but let's continue on by printing this particular contract. So when I come out to my print contract, I have the option of printing a signature line as well as a current signature. We do have the ability to capture digital signatures on your contracts or your shipments or even your invoices if you wish. Now, I'm just going to choose to preview this on screen so you can see. I'm going to open this up a little bit higher. This is what our printed contract looks like. So it's got your company information and logo here on the top left, our contract information here to the right, the sell to, bill to, and ship to information, and everything else that we captured, including the customer's PO number, as well as our backhoe that we're going to be renting, the delivery, and the hard hat. Now in this section, we have our terms and conditions. There's a setup table that allows you to go ahead and put in those terms and conditions and use HTML code so you could do indentation as well as bolding and colors if you wish. And then finally, at the bottom, we have our subtotal, our tax, and the total with the ability to capture somebody's printed name, signature, and date. So that is our printed contract. Be sure to watch our next video on how to ship a rental contract so that you can go ahead and begin billing.